everyone, welcome back to another edition of Tennis Picks and Bets. I'm John. You can find me on Twitter at JRTweetsTennis or the podcast I do also to do with tennis betting at Tidbits Tennis. Let's get to today. First, not a great day with Diego Schwartzman not coming through. And of course, Samsonova losing by the hook from 6-2 up. That one hurts. But we move on. Before we get to Saturday's Day 6 selections, make sure to subscribe to the Mayo Media Network YouTube channel, like this video, and comment with your favorite play for Saturday's action. And then head over to Daily Fantasy Sports Picks and Bets, The Mix. Rate, review, and subscribe at whichever podcast app you use. We'll start with the men, and it'll be Lorenzo Sonego -4 games against James Duckworth at even money. And this is what I really like for the Italian here. James Duckworth coming off a win over Sam Querrey. I think getting a bit too much love for that victory. Sam, not nearly as mobile as Lorenzo. Of course, he's got the huge serve and history at Wimbledon, but he was coming off a long week last week, and now he's on the wrong side of 30, and I'm not sure he was really holding up while losing his serve 5 times to James Duckworth. Not the typical Sam Querrey we'd expect on grass. Sonego, on the other hand, he's made some runs on grass before. Not the usual Italian clay court only kind of guy. He doesn't mind the quicker surfaces with his bigger game, and he's got a nice serve to really play well and that plays up on the grass courts. Look, I think he's about 6 to 7 games better than James Duckworth in this spot. I really like him at -4 games, especially when we're paying no juice to lay the games here. He has some experience. He's made deep runs before at grass court tournaments. And he's looked pretty strong in the early goings of Wimbledon. So I have no problem backing Sonego in this spot. The second pick, we're going back to someone we backed earlier this week on the money line at plus money. We're going to do it again. We're going back to the well with Jordan Thompson on the money line at plus 135. Look, I think he's just really undervalued again. Jordan Thompson is playing Ilya Ivashka, who is simply not the greatest tour level player just yet. He does like quicker courts. I'll give him that. And he has come through a few matches, but he doesn't have the experience. He doesn't have the flat game. He doesn't have quite the tools that Jordan Thompson does. I think if anything, I'd have this around a pick 'em. So to get it at plus 135, there's kind of exceeding value there. And I'm really surprised to see Jordan Thompson once again undervalued. I'm with a nice price in these markets. We'll go ahead and take the money line again on Jordan Thompson, see if we can find another plus money winner backing him. Finally, I want to head over to the women's side here, and we're getting some nice value by backing Paula Badosa 2-0 or -1.5 sets. Some books will have a set score, and the other one will have set handicap. It's the same play. And if you're looking for this around plus 130, Paula Badosa to beat Magda Linette. I wasn't sure how her game would translate to the grass in terms of the Spaniard, but in 2019, she qualified for Wimbledon. She qualified and won a match in Den Bosch in the Netherlands. And then she, of course, won a match in Mallorca as well, beating Alison Risk, a very good grass court player there. And now she's come through in pretty impressive fashion. She dropped 1 set in the first round to Alyona Bolsova, but her other 2 sets were 6-2 and 6-2. So she's been pretty convincing, and it makes sense. She's got the big power. This is her breakout year, and that power is coming together. The ability to control that aggression has finally come together for her. And I do think she's going to have too much for Magda Linette, who, let's face it, beating Amanda Anisimova was a pretty nice win. Something happened with Anisimova there late on. She was down 6-2, Magda Linette, before having to come back and then winning convincingly in the third. And of course, the second round against Alina Svitolina, totally different type of player, right? Svitolina is one who can struggle if you can flatten out and put pace, inject that pace into your ground strokes. And she is seemingly on the downtrend in her career. Not exactly the best year for Elina. So good win as an underdog, but not one that is totally unexpected, and not one I think that we should be giving too much credit to. So Paula Badosa with her big game, her big ground strokes, that nice serve. And of course, we do have some history on grass to go off of between 2019 and this season. That is reassuring to me in terms of the experience and the ability to move on these courts. So we're going to take her to win 2-0 against Magda Linette. Just a class above here in terms of player level. And that is at plus 130. Again, JR Tweets Tennis. Thanks for watching all week, guys. We'll talk to you on the weekend as we get towards the second week of the year's penultimate Grand Slam.